credits, tens of millions of Americans are seeing their health insurance premiums skyrocket, making seeing a doctor for themselves, their children, and their families unaffordable. At the same period of time, in these appropriations bills, Republicans are trying to gut the Centers for Disease Control and the National Institute of Health and undermine the ability of everyday Americans to actually receive vaccines. This Republican health care crisis is real. That's why House Democrats are standing up for the American people. It's not a partisan thing. It's a patriotic thing. That's why Senate Democrats are standing up for the American people. Not a partisan thing, a patriotic thing. We have to decisively address the Republican health care crisis. And John Thune is divorced from reality. I mean, it's a clown show over in the Senate. 14, 15 times you bring the same partisan Republican spending bill to the Senate floor, expecting a different result. That's the classic definition of legislative insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, has no ability to actually negotiate in good faith. And this has gone on week after week after week.
Mr. Leader, thank you. Good morning. I understand the Democrats' concerns about health care and the arguments that you've made about that, but do you think at some point with the crisis in the aviation industry, cutting off these flights, people concerned about air safety, air traffic controllers not getting paid, do you think that the air question will pivot some of your members and say we have to open up the government because we're worried about people's lives?
We want to immediately reopen the government. We want to find a bipartisan path forward to enacting a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people and actually drives down the high cost of living. What about what happened on Tuesday? Do Republicans not understand? They got wiped out all across America because they've made this country too expensive, and they failed to do anything about the affordability crisis. And as Democrats, our position is simple, and we're doing this for everybody. Whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, we're doing this for everybody. We have to lower the high cost of living in the United States of America. And we have an opportunity to try to do it with respect to health care. But the Republicans refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. On the aviation safety issue, we need a full and complete briefing so we can understand from the administration what the current status is, what the impact of administration layoffs have been prior to the Trump Republican shutdown, because the administration has been going after the FAA since the beginning of their time in office, since January 20th. And we need to understand how we got to this moment, separate and apart from the Trump Republican shutdown. The problem is it's like impossible to have a congressional briefing with House Republicans on vacation. 6 consecutive weeks they've canceled votes. I mean, it causes you to answer or ask the question, is there such a thing as a 4-ring circus? Because it's a circus right now in the House, in the Senate, across the country with Republicans, and certainly at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Mr. Leader, did the former Speaker notify you of her decision to retire, and does her retirement signal a shift in generational leadership for Democrats?
Yes to the first question. To the second question, we are all proud to stand on the shoulders of Nancy D'Alessandro Pelosi. It's been a great honor for me to be able to serve with legendary members of Congress from the very beginning of my time in office. And that, of course, includes, right at the top of the list, Nancy D'Alessandro Pelosi, or John Lewis, or Charlie Rangel, Elijah Cummings, Eddie Bernice Johnson, John Dingell. We can go through the list. These are legendary members of Congress. And, of course, right at the top of that list is Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi.
Speaker Johnson says he won't even guarantee a vote on the